actually LS mapping makes it easier for the model to just stop training other things, and so that to prevent the model from trying to operate on it. So it's a technique to organize your model and improve the performance. Okay, so from here I went ahead to make the predictions on my final test set. So this test set actually is the actual test set where my predictions were made on. So yeah, it was. So pretty much it's quite a simple model, and we did well. So from here, that's all that I have to say on the model part. So if there are any questions, I would gladly accept your answer. Thank you.
Hello, Deborah, are you there?
Hello, Ronny.
Yeah, hello, Deborah. Okay.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Please, if you have any question for Ronny, kindly unmute yourself and speak, or you could probably type it in the chat section. Okay, so there's a question here. Kobe is asking, why is the same number of units for all the dense layers? Are weights not potentially going to be copied exactly across all layers? Ronny, that's for you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Please come again. I didn't get a question.
Yeah. So Kobe is asking why the same number of units for all the dense layers. Are weights not potentially going to be copied exactly across all layers?
Okay.
Kobe, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting question.
Ronny.
Okay. Yes, coming.
Yeah, I can probably clarify a bit. So you are using the same number of hidden units for all the dense layers. So
Yes.
what I'm saying is that you could probably your model could probably be copying the same weight across all the layers, like if you do one-to-one kind of matching. So this like I'm building a very dense model with some redundancy in the units. So yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Why?
that's very important.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, yeah, that's a very good question. Thanks so much. Okay, so I don't think I have any reason actually. I felt that getting a uniform hidden units would work well for me, and I didn't like. I wasn't sure making the hidden units like decrease downwards or increase downwards would help me much. So, but I don't really have any reason why I used the one to use across all years. But that's a very good question. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any question for Ronny?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, Ronny, thanks for your presentation. So I'm interested in knowing why you had to use the skip connection, because looking at your architecture, I don't see how, like, it's not a huge architecture. So why would you want to fall on skip connection?
Yes. Okay. Great question. Thank you. Okay. So actually, the thing is with deep neural networks of any depth, I thought every layer learns different set of features across. So and the features that are learned, let's say in the first layer, are different from what I learned in the third layer, and as well as the fifth layer. So I felt like although it might not, the network is not really that deep, but then trying out trying to add such network features like from one layer to the next layer might help in a way to understand the how do you call it, the hidden feature representation of your model. So I just tried to and also, well, like I mentioned earlier on, it's actually to make the training faster, but then the network still is not really good enough, but then I just tried it out. Yeah, so that was the reason to make the training faster for me.
I also have a question.
Okay.
I also
Yeah,
have
please,
a
you can
question.
speak.
Thank you, Ronny, for your presentation. You used the test data. You split your data into test and train. You use the
Yes.
test data as your validation set.
Yes.
And so there was no way you tested your model locally before submitting. How did you know how your model will perform before you submit it? How did you check the performance locally before submitting? Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Great question. Yeah, so the splitting I did, actually, okay, maybe the naming it's misleading. Like the X test and then the Y test. Actually, I also I were used to validate the model. So the validation test sets that I just split. So training validation test, sets. So and using the validation set in the training here, I was able to monitor the loss function, the validation loss, okay, and the validation accuracy. And I realized that, okay, was very comparable to the training validation and sorry, the training loss and training accuracy. So the key metric I used there was the validation loss to evaluate how the model was performing. Yes. So,
Okay. There's another question. So Ken is asking, how did you address the issue of imbalanced classes?
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That particular problem, I didn't really
Okay.
implement anything to address it. The only technique I tried to use was by adding the block company, but I don't think that was really the best of approaches. So, but I felt I could use some maybe using smooth features to address that, or even try to upsample my mathematics class to address that. Yeah, but I didn't use anything apart from the blocks. Yes.
Okay.
I
Please, is there any other? Mhm.
have another question. Thank you.
Okay.
So, what's the question? So you, okay, go ahead. I think I forgot the question.
Ah,
Okay.
Okay, just a quick one. Ronny,
yes.
yeah, could you comment again what your stopping criteria was, where you did the early stopping?
And it's
Looks like,
stopping.
yeah.
Okay. So what I was okay. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I would think that you should have trained a bit longer, because at that point where you the early stopping really took effect, your loss wasn't really kind of changing so much. So if you had trained a bit
Yeah.
longer, you could probably have converted to something more useful.
So yeah, suggesting that I shouldn't have added the edit stopping, or I should have added, but then maybe probably increase the epochs, or is that what you're saying?
No, I mean your early stopping criteria, I don't really get where you actually what is it called, how it's supposed to work at that very point, because I'm thinking
Okay.
that if you had trained a bit longer, you could have conveyed to something more useful. Because I'm seeing the validation loss and the train loss at that point, yeah, down there. It's like
Yeah.
there wasn't so much change for you to have said that I want to probably stop the training. Yeah, so if you had probably gone a bit longer with the epochs, you could have probably seen some more decrease in the loss.
But the thing is that with early stopping, it actually stops irrespective of the epochs you actually set. Yeah, I set 50 epochs, but then it stopped after 14 epochs. So I don't know how maybe increasing the epochs could actually help you.
Yeah, but this potentially is suboptimal optimum at that point. It's not, it wasn't supposed to have stopped at that point. You could have gone a bit longer. So you could have probably taken away the early stopping a bit and see how the model would perform before trying to now add that criteria.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. Another thing too. Okay, so I was just about talking about um, trying out learning rate scheduler instead of the early stopping. Probably that would have helped too. So, but for here, I felt like monitoring the validation loss was a very good way to stop training when the validation loss is not a problem. So yeah, that was the reason why I used the early stopping instead of yeah. I don't know you said it.
Okay, I have a question. So I finally remembered my question. Okay, so I was about to ask, why did you decide to use deep learning for this task? Isn't it an overkill
Okay.
for a
Okay.
classification problem? Isn't it an overkill? Why did you?
Yes. Thank you for your question. Okay. The main reason why I used deep learning is the data. The data size is the data is very large. So and I tried to also use other approaches. So I tried logistic regression and then SG based. But I realized that they were not helping to scale, like they were not scalable enough to the entire data set, like to learning the global nature of the data sets. So I felt like deep learning was the best fit for this problem because uh, you can learn the parameters that can minimize your loss function and scale as well. So, yeah.
Okay, hello.
Okay.
Okay, I think maybe for you to say maybe deep learning is the best. I don't think it's maybe the right wording to use because from Occam's reason, you know that they always say that the simplest model is always the best one, right? So maybe you did not have time to try maybe other simple, let's say, models by trying to do hyperparameter search and all that. So though it's good to try this, but I don't believe looking at the features we had, like you had like about 20 something, or let's say, I think even less than that. So,
Yes.
and you finally settled on like 14, right, for the final model. So I don't believe that looking at the size of the data and the number of features, I don't think maybe to be a good justification. That is in my thinking, maybe to say deep learning was the right approach. It's good you tried it, but I believe other simpler models could have done better.
I see. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, is there any other question for Ronny?
Mine is not a question. It's just
Okay.
to probably talk a little bit about the early stopping criteria that I don't remember who asked it. So Ronnie, could you scroll down to that section? So basically what I feel is that this early stopping criteria will help curb overfitting, right? Well, I could be wrong, but that's what
Yeah.
I think. So
Yes.
when you scroll down to the yeah, you see that the change is not that much. I mean, the validation loss, you see, the last two, you have 0.2952 and 0.2957. I mean,
Yes.
uh, and the validation accuracy is not changing that much. Probably that's why it stopped. But
Yes.
what value did you set though for the early stopping criteria?
The value, as in, like,
Let,
I do know, like the validation, like the monitoring or the patients, as in, I don't get the question.
the early stopping criteria, where is that parameter?
Oh
Okay.
yes, here's it. Here's it.
Oh,
The stopping. Yeah. So I have to define like to monitor the minimum validation loss, like the point. So the model tries to like during training, it looks at the epoch at which the validation loss began to like this is has maybe had a minimum value, okay, and then and suddenly began to increase again. So when that happens, like when we began to increase, then it just stops training. And this is another thing. Like you can look at the validation loss from here, for the validation loss for let's say epoch 12. Okay, so from here we had an increase in loss to 0.2968. Then we had a sudden decrease again, 0.2952. Then we have another increase. So actually, it's not really stable, but when there's a recorded minimum validation loss and it's not really improving again after some number of epochs, it stops streaming because it might actually overfit as compared to the training loss. So that was the reason why I felt that was helpful in to stop training the community.
Okay,
Okay, can I also add something small to that?
sure.
You know, inside the early stopping, we also have the patient's, hyperparameter, right? He says that to 3. So what he's telling the model is that now look at the validation loss. If after 3
And the
epochs,
fact that
and then you don't see any reduction, then you stop.
okay.
So the patients actually determine when to stop. That is, you have to be patient. He's telling the model to be patient. So after 3 epochs, if you don't see any reduction now in the validation loss, stop training. Yep.
okay. So to add something to that, I think that 3 is quite small for you to start with. You could probably go with 10 to see. Yeah, as someone already mentioned, you see that there were changes, though, even though it's not that much, but it was changing a bit, so you could increase the patience to, let's say, 10. See what happens.
Yes. Okay. That's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. If there isn't, Ronnie, would you like to say something or you're done?
Okay,
Is
so
there anything you would like to add? Oh,
let me see what else. Actually, yeah. So I've nothing to say. Actually, yes.
okay. Okay. If there isn't any other question, I would like to thank everyone.
Yes, kindly speak. We can hear you, Deborah.
Okay, so if there isn't any other question, I would like to thank you all for participating in this section, and the slides will be available. We are going to share it with you. And Ronnie, thank you once again for joining us and sharing this insightful.
To join our YouTube channel, kindly hit on the subscribe button. aighana, like, subscribe, and share.